Hello, students. It's Pralay sir, and today we are going to read the poem Wind, written by Subramania Bharati, translated from Tamil by A.K. Ramanujan. And this poem is taken from Beehive, the textbook of class 9. Okay, so let us start. So let us let's have some introduction of the poem. That is, we all know that wind is a natural phenomenon. In this poem, the poet talks to the wind. The power of wind has been described, and the poet says that wind is destructive. He has linked the destructive power of wind to the adversities of life and says that the weak people break down, but stronger people emerge out of the adversities stronger. The poem gives an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardship of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. We must make these destructive forces our friends with our strength and determination. So this is the message of the poem, and this is the introduction of the poem. So let us move on to the text itself, the poem Wind. Okay. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So this is the half part of the poem. So let me explain the poem to you. Look at the first five lines. That is the first four lines. That is, wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the book on the shelf. In these lines, the poet depicts the destruction caused by winds. The poet appeals to the wind to be gentle. He requests the wind not to break the shutters of the window, not to scatter the papers or throw the books off the shelf. So wind has been personified. Personified means the wind has been compared to a human being. That wind comes softly, don't break that. This is a wind like a human being, and the poet says to a human being, okay, these are the qualities of a human being. Don't break the shutters of the window. Like a human being breaks the shutter of the window, scatters the paper. These are the qualities of human beings. So the poet here appeals to the wind not to become gentle, not to become so furious, not to become angry. Okay, move on to the next lines. That is, there, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought down rain again. In these lines, the poet reprimands the wind for the mess it has caused in the house. The wind has not only thrown the book, but also torn the pages of the books, which means that the book cannot be read. The poet looks out of the shattered window and accuses the wind of bringing in more rain. The rainwater can cause further damage to the mess in the room as it enters the room through the broken shutters. The strong and gusty wind signifies turmoil and trouble in life. So these are the dates of the wind. Of the winds, like the wind can crumble the wood down, as you can see that the crumble the door by a furious wind. The doors can become crumbled, crumbling bodies. No, when some like a kalboshaki, like some hurricane, like some tornado, these are the strongest form of wind. And when this occurs, all the people lives can be in very danger. Crumbling bodies, crumbling lives. the wind can destroy everything. Wind can become very much destructive when it has become powerful. Okay, so the and this is called crumbling hearts. What is crumbling hearts? If many people dies, okay, then there would be something like that. You are standing and there's some, and there are 5% has been died because of the wind, so your heart will be crumbling. Okay, so you will be very much in disgrace. You will be very much sad by seeing that wind has distracted all the things. Okay, so these are the main attributes or the main deeds of the wind. Now move on to the next segment, that is the next part of the text. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build the strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friend with us. The wind blows out the weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So, uh, in the above lines, the poet states that the wind is too self-willed or egoistic. He will not listen. He will not listen to any appeal. So it is for us to protect ourselves. We must build strong structures to with them with firm foundation, so the wind can neither harm nor penetrate it. We must further make ourselves physically and mentally strong to be able to face the ill effects of the wind. We can do this. Then the wind can neither frighten nor harm us. The wind can become our friends. The poet wants to convey the message that if we are strong willed, we can face all the hurdles and troubles in life easily. On the other hand, if we are weak, then we will be surrounded by strong forces and be the downtrodden, eventually be destroyed. So these are the things. So this is the explanation of these lines. Next, the wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Here, the poet describes the merits and demerits of the wind. He says the merit is that it can blow down the weak fire. But if the fire is burning fiercely, then it will make the burn with a stronger force or more powerfully. The poet concludes that the wind is a friend to the strong, but is an enemy to the weak who fall prey to his force. Metaphorically speaking, we can overcome all our troubles only if we build a strong character. Understood? Metaphorically speaking, we can overcome all our troubles only if we build a strong character. The poet invokes us to sing devotional songs in praise of the wind god for motivating us to be strong to face the challenges life. So this is the explanation of the poem, of the second part of the poem. Like that, the poet wants to tell us that become very strong. The poet appeals to all of us to become stronger by our heart, by our deeds. Okay, if we don't become that kind of stronger, then some situation can destroy us. Okay, like a wind. So, if we become that kind of, if we become physically stronger or mentally stronger, then we can overcome everything. So, this is the main thing. Okay. So, move on to the next part, that is the summary of the poem. The first part of the poems describes the action of the wind. The poet asks the wind to become softly. He requests the wind not to break the shutters of the windows, not to scatter the papers, and to throw down the books from the shelf. But the wind throws the book and tears the pages. The poet says that the wind makes a mockery of the weaklings. It brings down the frail houses, crumbling doors, rafters, even the weak hearts. It crushes everything that is weak. So this is the dish by the wind. Okay, that the wind is always of the thinking that the wind is always of the thinking that I can be very destructive, I can devastate, or I can destruct anything, I can demolish anything. Okay, so these are the characteristics of wind. Okay, so we have to face it, we have to face the powerful winds in our life in every steps. Okay, now the poet advises us. So there is the first part, and now the second part, that is the advice. The poet's advises to us, advisory to us. The poet advises us to be strong. When then, only then we can save ourselves from the wind. We should build strong homes with firm doors. Our bodies and hearts should also be strong. It is the way of the world to kick the weak and to be friends with the strong. The winds blow out the weak fires but make the strong fires roll and flourish. Thus, the poem conveys the idea that nobody cares for the weak. Even the wind is on the side of the strong people. We must make ourselves strong to become successful and overcome the challenges is in life. Okay, so this is the summary of the poem. Okay, now there are some new words for you, that is poking fun. Poking fun means making fun of something. Weaklings means a person who is weak, the person who is not strong. Crumbling, falling, or to cause something to break. Rafter means sloping beam which support the roof, the building. So you can see that this is the rafter, and this supports the building. Okay, and the roof also. Now windows means this is the windows. So to broke grain free of the chaff and separate grain from husk by blowing on it. So you can see that the woman a woman is just breaking the grain free of the chaff. Okay, now steadfast means firm or dependable. Now flourish means grow. Frail means weak, and scatter means throw in different direction. So these are the new words for you. Now move on to the next part, that is the literary devices. Literary devices means some figure of speech will be there, some rhyming scheme will be there. So a rhyme scheme. So if we look back the poem itself, that is there is no rhyme scheme actually, like softly, windows, paper, shelf, all down. So these are not very rhyming words, like softly, windows, paper, shelf, lee, ows, rush, papers, elf, down. So these are not rhyming. So the poem is free of rhyming scheme. Okay, now yes, some literary devices. Literary devices means some figure of speech. So figure of speech is very much important for you and for your exam purposes. Okay, the first thing is that anaphora. What is anaphora? Anaphora means when a word is repeated at the start or two or more consecutive line, it is the device of anaphora. Like line 2, 3, 4 begin with don't, like 6, 7, 8 begins with you. So let us see that. Don't. Okay, you. So don't. This is called the anaphora. And you that start with the same word, like you tore the pages of the books, you brought rain again, you were. So this is the literary with anaphora. Okay, so now move on to the next figure of speech, that is personification. Personification means the wind has been personified. When the poet says you are, he referring to wind as you, that means he is treating the wind as a person. So in this poem, throughout the poet just considered the wind as a human being. He just considered the wind that he considered as a human being, and tell the wind not to break the things, not to tore away the pages, not to crumble down the bodies, and advises us to become friends with wind. So these are the all characteristics of wind. Okay, so and this can be very much relatable to a characteristic of a man, of a human being. So wind equal to a man. So this is called the personification. Okay. Now repetition. Crumbling is repeated many times in emphasis. The poet wants to say that the wind crushes everything that is weak. That is why he repeats the word crumbling. Like that, if we say that the like frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling windows, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives. So these are the things that is the so very much repeating, like crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling woods. So this is called the repetition of the words. So it is called the repetition. Okay, so this is the figure of speech. And alliteration. Alliteration is also a poetic device. So what is the alliteration? Like wind, windows, won't, want. So when the consonant sounds are in close connection, like the wind, like black beauty, okay, like wind, windows, won't, want. So these are the example of alliteration. So hope you enjoy my